CJ Flyer back with another YouTube video. In today's video, we're going to be doing what I call the blow it up challenge or the restart challenge. We're going to be taking the Philadelphia 76ers and trading away the new starting lineup here after they just traded away James Harden. And that's what we're doing. We're blowing it up. We're getting a whole new team and going with the goal of winning the championship within the first year. So that means we're trading away Embiid, trading away Tyrese Maxey, trading away, we're assuming Kelly Oubre is going to be the new fifth starter in place of PJ Tucker, who was just traded. And yeah, we're going to be trading away all five starters and seeing if it is possible to win an NBA championship in the first season while doing that. Okay, so looking at the players we have to trade, Joel Embiid, he still has 3 years and the player option on his contract, so we're hoping to get a superstar, talented player in return, or at least some draft picks that we can flip for a superstar player. Tyrese Maxey is on an expiring deal. Tobias Harris is on an expiring deal. Kelly Oubre Jr. is on an expiring deal. And DeAnthony Melton also has 1 year left, an expiring deal. So we are going to be struggling a bit potentially here because these four are sort of undesirables, if you will, as far as getting, championship team caliber players in return. So we're going to have to make the most out of this, really, and see what we can do. But first off, let's put Embiid in the trade finder here, see what pops up. Right off the bat, this is a good one. We get Jaylen Brown and Kristaps Porzingis for Embiid and Robert Covington. I'm liking this deal for us. Another one looking good, Trae Young and DeJounte Murray for Embiid and Bamba. Tyler Hero and Bam Adebayo for the same package. Julius Randle and Jalen Brunson for Embiid and Patrick Beverley. This is not looking as good. Kyrie and Derek Lively for a package of Embiid and Kenyon Martin Jr. I don't think that's going to do us a whole lot of good for championship aspirations in the first year. Jamal Murray and Aaron Gordon, obviously two NBA champions here, but I don't really think that Murray and Gordon alone put us over the edge. Scotty Barnes and Pascal Siakam. And then the Trailblazers offering Scoot Henderson and DeAndre Ayton for Embiid and Beverly. So for winning a championship in the first year, I'm thinking it's either the Celtics trade or this Hawks trade. Maybe the Heat trade. I think we're going to end up settling on the Celtics one here. So let's go ahead and put this in, and there we go. Okay, next player to put in the trade finder, Tyrese Maxey. And again, with him being an expiring deal, I'm not expecting a whole lot. Right off the bat, we get an offer for Bobby Portis and Cameron Payne. It's not so great. Bobby Portis, while he can be a solid role player, he's not exactly giving us the scoring output that Tyrese Maxey is currently providing. Patrick Williams, who's recently been begging for a huge extension from the Bulls, I'm just not liking this one at all. Derek White, not too bad. Russell Westbrook and a first-round draft pick from the Clippers. Not sure how well Westbrook would do in a 2K simulation at this point in his career, but this is worth considering. Desmond Bane, a good defender, a good shooter. Yeah, this might be good. This one, we'd get two birds, one stone here, getting rid of Maxey and Tobias Harris, who's also a starter currently for the Sixers, and we get Bam Adebayo and Duncan Robinson. Now, we already have Porzingis, who, we could play as a stretch five. But, of course, if we got Bam Adebayo, he'd probably go in at the 5, and we put Porzingis at the 4. However, I'm leaning towards putting Porzingis at the 5. I just want to get another good guard or forward that can provide a lot of scoring. This trade, not really excited about this. Now, Walker Kessler, obviously, is a great defender. But, again, we're missing that scoring. Ooh, here's a good trade right here. Tyrese Halliburton and Daniel Tice for Tyrese Maxey and DeAnthony Melton. And DeAnthony Melton is another starter. This is probably the best offer we've gotten in this trade finder so far. Talk about overloading on bigs, being offered DeAndre Ayton and Robert Williams III for Maxey and Tobias Harris. I mean, this would be ridiculously stupid. We'd be loading up on 3 bigs. We don't need that. Yeah, I have to say that Tyrese Halliburton deal, I'm really shocked. Really shocked that this is getting offered. I think we have to go with this deal here. It's a no-brainer. All right, so far we have flipped Embiid, Tyrese Maxey, and DeAnthony Melton, and Robert Covington for Jaylen Brown, Tyrese Halliburton, Kristaps Porzingis, and of course Daniel Tice. Obviously, none of them are at the MVP caliber of Joel Embiid. However, this is still, potentially a championship caliber team. So let's just see what we can get now. We still have Tobias Harris and Kelly Oubre Jr. to trade away. So now that we have a point guard, a stretch 5 center, and of course we have Jaylen Brown, who can be anywhere from the 2 to the, I guess we could play him at the 4, but I'd prefer to put him at the 2 or the 3. Now we're going to be looking at players, potentially forwards here, or larger guards that can fill in at the spots from 3 to 4. Marcus Smart, obviously that wouldn't be a bad pickup, good for the defense, but again, not exactly the fit we want for the starting lineup. Clint Capella, same deal. Not really looking for that. Got an offer here to get a first-round pick and Ben Simmons back in Philly. I'm not sure this would fly in real life, but it is definitely an interesting idea nonetheless. Bradley Beal being offered by the Phoenix Suns for Tobias Harris and Kelly Oubre Jr. This would complete our challenge here if we did this trade. We'd be trading away all 5 starters at that point, trading away Tobias Harris and Kelly Oubre Jr., but this is definitely worth considering since, Bradley Beal, obviously a great scorer, and then we just have to find a 5th player on our bench to fill in. Klay Thompson also wouldn't be a bad pickup, he's got the championship experience, so would be a good fit for this team. And then there's Kyle Kuzma. Okay, so really we're just deciding between this Bradley Beal trade and this Klay Thompson trade. It's a bit of a toss-up for me. Now, of course, if we do the Klay Thompson trade, we still have one more starter to trade away in Kelly Oubre Jr. If we do the Bradley Beal trade, then that's it. We've completed the challenge. We have our lineup. So let's go back and look at our roster right now and just see what we're working with on the bench. So if we went ahead and did that Bradley Beal trade, we would have Tyrese Haliburton at the starting point guard position. We'd have Bradley Beal at shooting guard. We have Jaylen Brown at small forward. Porzingis at either the 4 or the 5. Tobias Harris and Kelly Oubre Jr. would be gone. And then we'd have Kenyon Martin Jr., maybe the one that fills in the 4. Could also have Patrick Beverley and play small ball. We could have Marcus Morris fill in at the 4, although that's not really ideal. And then we have a lot of other bench players here. We got Batum. Batum could fill in at the 4. We got Paul Reed. We got Daniel Tice, we got Daniel House Jr., we got Korkmaz that could fill in at the 3. I mean, we have some options. Not great options, but we have some options nonetheless. Overall, it would still be a pretty solid team. Now, if we went ahead and did the trade to get Klay Thompson, we would have Tyrese Haliburton, Klay Thompson at the 2, Jaylen Brown at the 3, Porzingis at the 4 or 5, and then we still have Kelly Oubre Jr. to trade away. Now, in real life, if we were looking at this, I think I would prefer Klay Thompson in here just because he doesn't necessarily need the ball in his hands at all times, and we have a couple of players on this team. Tyrese Haliburton, he's a point guard. He's got the ball in his hands a lot, so it would be very crucial for him to be the one that has the ball most often. Jaylen Brown, of course, can be a little bit of an ISO player at times on the Celtics, so also good to have the ball in his hands. We don't need more players that need the ball in their hands at all time. Porzingis is not one of those guys. I'm kind of leaning towards Klay Thompson more as like a system player here, and just because he has a championship experience. Again, it's 2K, I get it, but I also want to take a chance at trading Kelly Oubre Jr. for one more solid player. So let's go ahead and do it. Let's go ahead, get the trade finder loaded back up. Let's get over to that Warriors trade. And I know we're giving up 2 players here. We're not only giving up Harris, we're giving up Kenyon Martin Jr. But we'll take our shot at getting some more depth by trading away Kelly Oubre Jr. here. Alright, so most of the offers here for Kelly Oubre Jr. are not that great. Nonetheless, I think we can make it work. There are a couple of trades that are interesting. We got Clint Capella here, along with Bruno Fernando for Marcus Morris Jr. or Sr. and Kelly Oubre Jr. We got Thomas Bryant, a first-round pick, being offered here. We got Miles Bridges. We have Walker Kessler. We have Mitchell Robinson. We have some scoring in Christian Wood, and we have Cam Reddish. Jakob Poeltl, that's another option. So, we got some players that could fill in. Again, I was kind of planning on putting Porzingis at the 5, but, I mean, we're making do with what we got here. I say let's go ahead and do the Walker Kessler trade. I like Paul Reed, but again, this is just a short-term rebuild, the blow it up rebuild and try to win within the season. So let's go ahead and do this trade. There we go. They've accepted the offer. And now this is the starting lineup. We're going to have Tyrese Halliburton. We're going to have Klay Thompson at the 2. We're going to have Jaylen Brown at the 3. We're going to have Porzingis at the 4. And we're going to have Walker Kessler at the 5. We got twin towers here, Porzingis and Walker Kessler. 2 7-footers down low. It's going to be a very interesting lineup indeed. And then off the bench, nothing's really changing here other than we did get Daniel Tice off that trade to get Halliburton. So we're looking at, Beverly running the point off the bench. We're going to have Batum. We're going to have Marcus Morris. We're going to have Daniel Tice, Daniel House. Yeah, we got some guys that can fill in. So the bench is looking solid. The starting lineup is looking, overall, it's a lot stronger than before. Obviously, again, no MVP player here. However, we do have, I would argue more depth as far as talent goes. So we do have a pretty good shot at winning this thing. Let's go ahead now. We'll set the lineup and then we'll go ahead and simulate. All right, Luka wins MVP with 32 points, 11 rebounds, and 8.5 assists. We got Wembanyama winning Rookie of the Year. We got Westbrook winning Sixth Man of the Year. Giannis winning Defensive Player of the Year. Paul Reed, who got traded in our simulation to the Utah Jazz, ended up with Most Improved, nearly getting a double-double. And then Donovan Mitchell, Clutch Player of the Year. Darvin Ham, Coach of the Year, as the Lakers finish #1 in the Western Conference with 58 wins. Executive of the Year. Well, I guess we made some good trades because 76ers have the Executive of the Year right there. So perfect. We're going to go ahead and advance here. Embiid, who we traded away to the Celtics, did not get on the first team. He did, however, get on the second team, as well as Tyrese Halliburton, who's now with us on the Philadelphia 76ers. Jason Tatum got All-NBA third team. All right, so looking at the final standings, the Sixers did finish with the #1 seed in the East, the only team in the Eastern Conference to get at least 50 wins. And following up behind them, the Miami Heat, New York Knicks, the Cleveland Cavaliers, Atlanta Hawks, the Bucks, the Bulls, the Raptors. Where are the Boston Celtics? They barely made the play-in with a losing record. Oh my goodness, how the heck did they not manage to secure a playoff spot? I mean, they have who? But they have Jason Tatum and Joel Embiid as this dynamic duo, and they were not able to get it done. But it does look like, ooh, that's not good. Tatum out for the season with a broken right ankle. You got to imagine that probably played some part in it. Yeah, that's very unfortunate for them, and the rest of their team is, they're looking a bit thin. Looking a bit thin here. I mean, they do have Drew Holiday, they do have Derek White, they do have Al Horford still, and they have Robert Covington, not a bad role player piece on the team. But of course, they did give up quite a bit to get Embiid, and then Tatum getting injured. Yeah, not good. Not good for them going into the play-in game. That is for sure. So looking at how some of the other players that we traded away fared, Tyrese Maxey ended up getting 18.6 points per game, playing 68 games and starting 68 of them here for the Indiana Pacers, shooting nearly 50% from the field. And then DeAnthony Melton, he did get 22 minutes per game, 9 points. Looks like his stats are right in line with what he was doing here in Philly. As for Tobias Harris, he only started 23 games in the season, and it looks like the rest of those starts went to between Draymond Green and Andrew Wiggins here. And then Kelly Oubre Jr. only played in 53 games for the season. He started 19 of them, averaging 16.6 per game on 44% field goal percentage, and he got 36% from 3. Looks to be a bit lower than what he averaged in Charlotte the year before, but nonetheless looks like he got his shot to, contribute to the team. Overall, it doesn't look like too many of these players fell off. If we go ahead, let's look at Embiid's stats. Yeah, he got 25 points per game, 13 rebounds per game, and those rebound numbers are the highest he's had since the 2018-2019 season. His scoring, a little bit lower than the past couple years, but again, he's sharing the ball with Tatum, who is also an MVP candidate, so it makes sense. And with 2 MVP candidates, again, they just weren't able to make the playoffs. yet to be determined, in the play-in, but Tatum is out for the season. So let's go ahead, simulate the play-in, see what happens. And Boston fails to make it out. They do win the first play-in game and then lose the second one to Toronto by 2 points. Oh my. Not a good look. Embiid with 35 points, 17 rebounds. Just not able to get the job done is Gary Trent Jr. of all people, getting 32 points in that play-in game. And we'll now go up against the Sixers. So let's go ahead and start simulating. We'll simulate game 1, winning that one pretty easily, winning game 2. Uh-oh, never mind. We did not win game 2. What happened here? Lost the game by 15 points. Gary Trent Jr. again, 38 points? What the heck? Yeah, I was going to say, regular season he only averaged 14.5 points. And right now for the playoffs, averaging 25 points on 68% field goal percentage. You've got to be kidding me. 66% from 3. What in the world's going on? Gary Trent Jr. is going off. This is unbelievable. I'm not sure we're going to be able to. This is like Gabe Vincent and Max Strus on the Miami Heat type of levels of insanity for role players. Let's just go ahead. We'll simulate again. Sixers take game 3. Please tell me it's not Gary Trent Jr. again. It's Gary Trent Jr. again. What in the world? Siakam, OG Anunoby. I would have expected it from those two. But Gary Trent Jr.? Really? What's going on? Like, what did he do for game 3? Game 3, he only averaged 21. I say only, but oh my goodness. All right. Going into game 5, up 3-2. Okay, to take the series, there we go. Finished it in 6. I'm just curious to see how Gary Trent Jr. finished things off. Where in the world is he? Did he get injured? That would be the worst ending, which it looks like he is not there, so he might have gotten injured. Let's go ahead and see. Let's go over to the news. Gary Trent Jr. is expected to miss 1 to 2 weeks with a sprained right toe. That is not the way you want to go. Wow. What an ending to what could have been a great comeback story. But now, going into round 2, it is the 76ers versus the Cleveland Cavaliers. Let's go ahead and finish simulating the rest of the first round. And let's get started with the second round here. Philly winning game 1. And game 2 going to Cleveland. Game 3, uh-oh. Here comes Cleveland. Oh no, uh-oh. Not good. What we got going on? It's Donovan Mitchell time. Yeah, look at this. Look at all this scoring. Look, Tyrese Halliburton in game 1 had 20 assists. That's insane. Yeah, Donovan Mitchell, it looks like he's doing a lot of damage, as well as Garland. And oh my goodness, Mobley had over 20 rebounds in the game. That's insane right there. Jaylen Brown had 48 points in game 3, and it was not enough to get the dub. Same with game 4. He got 37. Man. All right, let's go ahead. We're going to simulate this with Simcast. Let's go ahead and simulate those, and let's get started. Let's get started with the simulation. So far, so good. Uh-oh. Starting to slip up a bit. Starting to slip up. Not good. Oh, now it's close again. Trailing barely by like 3 points right now. It is getting neck and neck. Getting the lead here late in the fourth quarter. Can the Sixers maintain it? Up by 10. 119, there we go. Yep, looking good. Looking like a victory. There we go. Getting game 5, going to a game 6 here. Let's go ahead and simulate this one. And the Sixers have been eliminated. Sorry, I meant to do Simcast and I hit the wrong button. That is my apologies, but our goal to get to the championship has failed. Despite having the best record in the Eastern Conference, losing in 6 games to none other than the Cleveland Cavaliers. What are the Chicago Bulls doing here? You've got to be kidding me. Who do the Chicago Bulls have that are leading the way? DeMar DeRozan, Zach LaVine, and Vucevic are just going off, apparently. This is insanity. I would not expect this from the Bulls. Let's go ahead and simulate the rest of the playoffs. And LeBron James wins Western Conference Finals MVP. Donovan Mitchell, Eastern Conference Finals MVP. That's a Juicy storyline right there. The Cleveland Cavaliers versus the Los Angeles Lakers. LeBron versus Cleveland. Let's go ahead and simulate it. And Cleveland winning their second ever NBA championship. Donovan Mitchell getting the finals MVP, averaging 29 points per game. And that's the challenge. So unfortunately, couldn't make it past the second round, even from blowing up the roster and getting an all-star lineup. I'm sorry, Philly. I guess it's just bad luck. I don't know what to say. Even after getting rid of Embiid and company, it's not enough with a whole new slate. Philly must be cursed. I don't know what to say. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Could things have been different if we went for Bradley Beal? Maybe, maybe not. Curious to hear your opinions. Like and subscribe for more of these rebuilds, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.